and we have ourselves another set that wouldn't necessarily be an upset on either side, but it's going to be a great set nevertheless.
Not just a great set, but we got a Zero Suit Samus Ditto out here. Which
he's doing it.
He's doing it, and I'm really enjoying to see this just because Nairo doesn't really play ZSS anymore. We know that he's been sticking with Palutena for the most part since Ultimate's been out, and Mars actually not playing ZSS at the very beginning until I want to say a few months in, and really showing that this character still got the sauce.
Even if he says he sucks, you know, he still believes that, but right away within the first maybe 20 seconds, Mars is going to make it hard for Nairo to be like, hey man, yeah, Zero Suit is really hard to main now. Let me tell you, it's not that easy.
Yeah, she's one of those characters that definitely got changed up a little bit compared to characters like Diddy Kong and other ones that just don't play the same anymore, even like Captain Falcon. But Mars is really showing that this character still got the stuff, although he could whisper in the mic, you know, ZSS still sucks, by the way.
Yep.
See ya.
Yep. Don't main that character. That's what he would tell you.
Yeah, that's what he wants you to think, because you see that follow-up with the up B right there coming from Nairo. Nairo's like, all right, I lost my stock pretty early, but it's okay. We're still in the game, not taking too much percent, and Mars not getting that much extra credit.
We really know Nairo is really the king when it comes to comebacks. He can be so far behind, but he has such a great mindset. He knows what he has to do and makes it possible with just that one opening, and already back to even match here, 41-63 and rising.
Yeah, using these airs to get back onto the stage.
And now back into neutral. Both of them trying to feel each other out, trying to really get in there. But here we go. The opening from Mars is going to start setting up those up airs. Battlefield. So great for Zero Suit to use these platforms to maneuver around, set up combos, and also get escape options, as we saw. Didn't even get punished by using the up special.
Yeah, that boost kick actually allows you to try to catch people from jumping around you. But aside from that, as you mentioned, Battlefield allows you to mix up your landing with the platform, so get back safely. Goes for that up smash. Mars is trying to shark Nairo as Nairo tries to find his way to get back onto center stage. Finally finds his way in, not getting the grab right there.
Yeah, I love the way that Mars is spacing out, and just like that, literally waited for the opportunity, saw a miss from Nairo and took advantage of that. He is so good. His punish game is so strong at all times. If you miss against Mars, he will take advantage of it and now put himself in the lead. Nairo, though, has to answer back.
I know we were talking about Nairo's comeback factor, but the way that Mars plays, he's such an explosive player, goes all for the nutty flip kicks off stage, tries to contest you so deep into the blast zone, despite even if he has a lead, gets the grounding into the up smash. Oh, knowing exactly where Nairo was going to land on that platform right there.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, he's always been so explosive. And even Nairo, if we talk about his Smash 4 presentation, even with his Ganondorf, we've seen him be so aggressive. Both of these guys, it's only been 2 minutes, and this, you know, the match is already over. We're going to see a quick set, even if it does go to Game 5.
I honestly feel like we potentially will be seeing a switch to Palutena.
Right.
The only reason why I say this is because I feel like Nairo now is more open to trying out ZSS in this game. He sees the potential, he sees the results from Mars, and there's no reason right now at this point to think, okay, this character is really not that bad. Flip kick, the move in itself does so much for you, grounds you, it can spike you, gets you out of a lot of bad options too. If you find
Sets
yourself,
up the combos.
Yeah, sets up the combos. If you find yourself in a pretty tough position in the corner, you use that flip kick, okay, you're on Battlefield, now you have a platform to retreat to.
Exactly.
So situations like that allows Mars to honestly get out of pretty tough positioning when it comes to being ZSS, being stuck on the ledge. There really isn't a disadvantage because you don't want to overextend against that character. If he gets a grab by the ledge, you could kiss your stock goodbye if you happen to be DIing in. Even DIing away at some points, you're not safe at certain percents.
Yep, exactly, Vicky. And look, we didn't even get the switch, though I feel like it might be coming, but it really does depend, I think, because of the 3 out of 5. Nairo can have that time to adapt, really figure out what's going on. I mean, again, in this game specifically, Mars does have the more experience with Zero Suit Samus, but I feel like Nairo is so great at adapting, at learning as games are going on, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does end up taking this game and really continue on with Zero Suit.
Yeah, honestly, the Ditto could throw off a lot of players as well. A lot of players can even say that sometimes certain Dittos with certain characters is the worst matchup for that said character.
Yes.
And it's not like, okay, you're playing the Ditto, the person who wins is the one that's best for the character. No, it's the way the Ditto in itself is a matchup knowledge that you need to download and understand what the character could do around their own toolkit.
Yes, I completely agree with you. A lot of characters, they have to use completely different tools versus each other rather than other opponents and different matchups. And this is just one of those situations of you need to respect the fact that Zero Suit has such quick aerial movement and escape options and spacing. So it really comes down to respecting those options and taking advantage of edge guard, just what we're seeing right now from Mars.
Oh my gosh, and with the double back here from Mars right there, completely edge guarding Nairo, and Nairo losing his first stock here in this game too. Great with the parry right there, and it's funny because both of these players, you see that they've been going in either with Nair, even trying to contest each other with Zaire at the same time.
Yep, exactly. And now back into neutral, you see the way that Nairo is now trying to get in. He's doing it a lot more safer. I think that OK gets himself the up smash. No, that is not safe. You're going to get some damage over there, getting back onto the edge. Look at the way he's trying to get himself into that center. That's very important when you're fighting Zero Suit Samus. She gets a loft based on edge guards, based on, cornering you into the stage. So keeping yourself in center is key here, and Nairo is doing better on that, but is not finding himself in the most comfortable position.
Yeah, I definitely agree, especially when you're playing against Mars. Mars loves to keep you off stage. I call it the Esam effect because Esam's also really good when it comes to fighting people off stage, and Mars in general, when it comes to trying to contest you with flip kick, you don't want to be messing around with him. So that's why you see Nairo just trying to mess around here in the center stage, finally get stage control, but that parry coming through from the back air.
Yep. All right, yeah, I love another parry coming in, and again, these parries.
Can I get a fourth though? No,
oh, he's going into the darkness!
No, if anything, the darkness is coming through with the boost kick, taking him out. I mean, Nairo's still at 82%, a little bit difficult, as we know that Mars gets that momentum going pretty easily.
Yeah, honestly, this is not the biggest advantage. I feel like Zero Suit Samus, no matter how far behind you may be, with the right DI, as you saw, and just the right follow-ups and opening, you could really bring this back, no problem. Nairo is not out yet.
Yeah, that was amazing DI from Nairo's part, and also no rage on Mars's part too, trying to catch the jump with that up smash. Not going to get hit by that Zaire. Great low recovery from Nairo, mixing it up, even coming in with an aggressive option to regain stage control.
I think that the difference that we're seeing here is the more defensive Zero Suit that we're seeing from Nairo, where Mars is being extremely aggressive, constantly pressured. Look at the way he's going to go off stage right there. But unfortunately, a little unsafe. It doesn't get it. All right. No one get hurt. It's all good. We shambles.
Yeah, we in shambles, absolutely. I mean, you know, it's funny, actually, because usually when you see Mars play, he actually plays Zero Suit Samus using the platforms to his camping ability, where he forces the opponent to come to him instead. And I feel like that's one of the most optimal ways that you can possibly play ZSS. That spot dodge coming up, you're going to be taking a forward smash and a back air. That's Nairo right now in the lead despite being at 155%.
You know, that was the one situation where Nairo's defensive play really came in handy there. He waited so patiently for that aggressive option from Mars, was able to follow up and actually got himself for the first time a lead in this set, and still with just 5%, but as I'm saying that, it's gonna get hit and lose it.
Yeah, last stock situation right here in this game too. I mean, Mars is up an entire stock, Nairo really turning it up, doing a lot better than what we saw in that first game where he got 2 stocked.
Yeah, okay, again, both of them, I like the way that they both kind of separate each other and then kind of reset that neutral and see, all right, who's going to make that first move? Who's going to make the first nair? And that is going to be Mars is going to get a hit. The neutral get up, going to miss the timing. We have an edge guard here. Zero Suit Samus very, very strong on those edge guards. Let's see how long those Nairo can keep Mars on the edge.
I love this is prime neutral right here. Both players are playing extremely safe, just trying to go for more cross-up options, if anything. Finally landing that nair right there, not going to get that back air. Mars staying center stage, gets the boost kick on Nairo at 104%. He finds himself getting back using the flip kick to get back onto the stage, not opting to go for that ledge invincibility.
He actually even hasn't even been using that very often, so that was a really good mix-up. He tends to have been going for the edge, and Mars, I think, was even ready to go for that trump. But this time, Nairo prepared, adapting, and learning the way of Zero Suit Samus. And also Mars, again, the patience coming from Nairo, almost saving him. Is that going to be it?
Oh my gosh, with the overextension on the ledge right there, the flip kick coming through and taking out Nairo despite it being such a close game too.
It really was super close. The way he was adapting, and we were even seeing just the defensive play from Nairo coming out being a lot more safer. And then that one moment where he just overextended a little bit and went for that aggressive option, it costed him the game.
Honestly, the reaction time on Mars's part right there, when he saw that Nairo had gone for the overextension on the ledge right there, the flip kick over Nairo to hit him back was honestly his best option, because if he would have gone for a jump by the ledge, he was going to get hit by that, and he was going to be the one to lose that game too.
Yeah, you're going to go game over, my guy.
Yep.
So that's it. This is game 3. This is a big game changer. We have to keep in mind this is set points, also Nairo's winner side set point. He is switching to the Palutena, as you mentioned, Vicky. If he does end up bringing this back, that's huge for Nairo, because he will have that counter pick advantage.
That, and I actually really like this stage for Palutena as well, just because the platforms allow Nairo to just add in that extra pressure below the platforms using Nair. But Mars, as we've seen already, has no problem with platform play, especially within that Battlefield game that we saw these last 2 games.
Yeah. Nairo, though, is going to have to make a lot of work happen if he want to take 3 straight games from Mars. Not to say that it is impossible, because we've seen him do it before, but he's going to have to play smart. He's going to have to not let himself get so pressured by Mars's options, the way that he's approaching and the way that he's forcing Nairo to hold that shield. Okay, Zero Suit sucks.
Yeah. ZSS not top 10, man.
Not top 10, right? Quoting Mars right now. But here we go, gonna take that stock and putting those words in my mouth. But here comes the hopefully grab from Nairo's gonna end up dropping it, but that dash attack's gonna get him some sort of momentum here.
You see Mars now, watch me whip. I tried to call out a roll right there. Gets the backer, setting Mars off stage, trying to see if he was going to be able to go for the jump and possibly go for the up air, but Mars, knowing better, opting to go for the ledge instead. Gets backered right here by the platform.
He is doing an amazing job just not getting hit at the moment. That is the one thing you got to keep in mind, is if you are a stock behind, you have to go for what's safe, but also just not get hit. The way that Mars retreated to the other side hopefully was going to save him, but still in a bad disadvantaged state here from Nairo. Palutena so good when it comes to edge guarding.
That and an amazing air dodge, avoiding that upper that definitely would have taken a stock right there. I love the patience that you were talking about, Kellis, right here. Mars does a really good job at just slipping around his opponents and not getting hit. This is where that patient play comes from Mars as well, where he uses ZSS's movement abilities to potentially make you go to him, since he has the lead at this point.
You're right. It's actually so hard to get that stock off of Zero Suit Samus, because you have to approach her.
Exactly.
She is so quick in the air. Her movement, you were saying, is so fast. It's so versatile. It's so great to just make up anything, but that shield is bigger than half the stage, so it's going to take out any option coming in from Mars.
Yeah, that Palutena back air and dash attack are 2 things that you want to look out for, especially since that shield is invincible. Goes for the fair, tries to clip Mars from trying to use that flip kick. He is on the platform. Get off of that platform. Finally makes it back, as that platform was actually scooting away towards the blast zone.
All right, here we go. Let's see what recovery we've got. We've been seeing these consistent edge guards coming in from Nairo. Finally, Mars is going to find his footing in, and is going to take a dash attack to boot, but finds himself back into the middle, and now we have a reverse situation, trying to sneak in those back airs, just sharking it out. Very important to do on those shields.
Oh my goodness, gets the boost kick right there by the ledge, taking out Nairo's stock, as Nairo was trying so hard to get back onto the stage while he was stuck on that platform.
Oh, such beautiful spacing from Nairo. Unfortunate was that it wasn't able to really shield poke with that forward smash, because that was an excellent option. Unfortunately, did not come into his favor. But here we go. We're going to get the back throw. Hopefully another edge guard. Here comes the explosive flame. Nairo, what do you have? You got to show it now.
Yeah, you see him right there. He was going for these empty hops, looking for that back air, finally landing it right here. Not really being able to land these explosive flames, because Mars is, again, doing such a really good job at just avoiding Nairo from getting hit.
Exactly. He's just using the spacing so well. But as we're saying that the stock is even, 32% is honestly not that much. So if he just finds that opening with that Nair, that's a good start.
Yeah.
And now he's also got himself over him, so that could be a potential comeback coming in from Nairo.
Yeah.
He just plays smartly.
Yeah, he was doing a really good job. That last hit of Nair actually leading into a grab by the platform could have set up for something interesting, but Mars getting back onto the stage, setting Nairo now off stage, using that Nair and trying to fact check on that platform using the back air.
Yeah, he's just so good at sharking out any option coming in from his opponents. He's done that with everybody. He really forces you to really commit and get out of that shield option, and then just knowing where you're going to be and when. But Nairo doing a good job at not overextending, and now has the edge guard situation again. He's made so much damage in the past 10 seconds.
Yeah, here's the momentum coming from Nairo, but Mars finally lands right here. Unfortunate whip on the grab from Nairo. Love the spacing on the back air here. You have to respect it as well. Gets the Nair, sending him off stage.
He is very aware that that boost kick is coming. The way that Nairo is facing himself, he is very aware that something is coming. You know Mars wants this kill. He's going for the side special. He's going for the back air. The options that Zero Suit has to kill. Nairo is doing an amazing job at just avoiding that situation. He knows what Zero Suit has. That back air is a good start.
Keeping him off stage. This is really close. Once again, it's such a close game. Keeping him so high up in the air, sending him forward with the up air and the contention with the Nair. We DI'd those, though. Mars gets to see another day.
Okay, that fair, though, is going to kick him into the blast zone, and Nairo is back in this game.
Oh, I like the way he's shaking his head, though. He's a little too close for comfort there, especially with Palutena. But you know what? He still gets the job done, nonetheless, with the character switch.
I think he's kind of maybe even saying that just because of how high that ceiling was for Zero Suit. The way that he was kind of hitting him and wasn't dying at all at the top. Don't forget, Town and City, such a high blast zone, the highest in the Smash series. So it's going to take a while to really get that confirmed KO off the top. But yeah, we are back into this. This is game 4. And again, Nairo has to, you know, ban smartly for sure. He has to think, okay, where did I lose? Where was I super uncomfortable? So far, we've been returning back to Battlefield. And that's a good choice, honestly. Palutena really able to use those ledge cancels with the recovery. So good at really crossing up, avoiding, and escaping ZSS's options if she does get that lead. So I think it's a great option for both players, but it really comes down to who's going to use the stage advantage for their character the best.
Yeah, honestly, you were talking about Town and City being such a big stage. I definitely agree, because ZSS is not a heavy character whatsoever. She's actually in between Meta Knight and Kirby in terms of weight. So the fact that he was able to survive that not only put in good DI, but also you have to take the stage into consideration.
Right. Like Battlefield, a huge ceiling, but it's not as big as Town and City, so it won't help you that much. At that percent. But here we go. I mean, Nairo's starting off pretty good at the moment, has that percent lead, not too much, but these grabs from Mars, just being so consistent. He got 3 in a row. Can we get a 4th one?
All right, look at that, the patience to try to cross up on the Nair, but knowing that Mars was facing that way, drifted back behind Mars. Oh my gosh, but gets caught by that Zair.
All right, not going to be the kill, though. Great recovery. Again, we were talking about this stage. Makes it very unpredictable for where Palutena is actually going to land because of the platform placement. And there it is again, landing with the back air, not only from recovery.
Yeah, I know we saw this stage when they were doing the ZSS dittos, but this stage also benefits Palutena immensely with that platform cancels on her recovery.
Yes. All right, the Nair coming in, Sharksy in those platforms, almost getting in by the explosive flame. Good stuff on Mars's part to really air dodge at the right timing. But wow, that reverse coming in from Mars. Great stuff, putting himself in the lead and not going to take the stock, though.
I was going to say that auto-reticle turnaround from Nairo did not look predictable. It looked like he was actually going to try to go for maybe explosive flame right there to try to click Mars.
Yeah, could have been a little misinput, but we all get those every once in a while.
Absolutely, this higher bracket too. I mean, you have the whole crowd watching you out here.
Did you see the way that wind just kind of pushed him like back off? It's not going to do any damage, of course, but it's just going to blow you away and give Nairo here some space. That dash attack is going to take it.
Yep, and that's a dash attack we were talking about too. You can't be contesting that shield. It definitely clips you if you're in the middle trying to do an action too, especially at such a high percent. Nairo's still living though at such, I was gonna say, still living but getting caught with his landing.
I feel like commentators just got to stop talking about who's in the league because it just doesn't matter when we say it.
They're like, all right, time to turn it up right here. The momentum, the mindset coaching out here.
Exactly, like whoever we want to win bias, we just need to start talking about that player. All right, though, as we're talking about this, we do have the comeback here from Mars, doing such a good job at sharking with these aerials, forcing shields to come out from Nairo and getting these grabs, not even getting combos off of it, but just kind of pushing, getting damage here and there, and sometimes that's more important than going for that combo.
Yeah, the best way I could describe the performance from both these players right now in this set is it seems that both of them are dancing around each other safely to see who has to get in the overextension on who's holding shield first. See, Nairo's trying to call out Mars with the Nair, trying to get out his grab, but unfortunately whiffing right there. He knew that Nairo was not going to roll in, unfortunately for him too.
Great stuff on Nairo's part to really get up with that option of literally just going in for that fair, avoiding that kill, but catches the roll. And Mars is one stock away from top 8 winner side.
It's such a close game right here. Nairo, knowing what's at stake, gets in that back air, uses the explosive flame to try to contest him as he gets back onto the stage.
All right, Nairo here having a hard time again, coming back, but finds himself the center of the stage. Mars pushing through, the grab coming in from Nairo. Now's your chance. I mean, don't forget this stage was the counter pick. So Mars is going to use these platforms to really escape and get away from whatever you got, but that's going to be a kill. Nairo's still in this.
And that's why you've been seeing Mars go for a lot of high recoveries too, because he knows that Nairo's going to be looking to contest him down below the ledge, especially with that Nair that could contest the ZSS recovery.
Exactly, and just a few hits there. Look at that. Already even back to stocks here and percent. So it really comes down to these last few moments. This is where the nerves start kicking in. This is where, okay, who's going to make what option? Who's going to overcommit? Who's going to be defensive? It really comes down to what reaction are you going to make in these last few moments that's going to cost you. And right away, that aggressive option is going to be punished by Nairo here.
Yeah, the down throw into back air coming through. I love the patience that we have here, doing these empty hops by the ledge, catches his jump with the Nair, nonetheless missing all hits. He still gets the grab into the back air.
We have a potential reverse 3-0.
Yep, Nairo's still in the game here. The switch really doing him good. I feel like that stage also, although it was Mars's pick, really benefited Nairo more than anything.
Yeah, agreed. I think that we've been seeing it where whenever Nairo has had platforms, he really just does a great job at spacing himself, being defensive, able to escape wherever Zero Suit Samus wants him to be. So I think that platforms are really benefiting him. I want to see maybe a longer stage coming in from Mars. I don't know where we're going to go. Vicky, this is it. This is game 5.
Yep, this is game 5 right here. The winner of this will be going on to top 8.
And again, another platform. We're back on Battlefield. There's something here. I mean, it really does benefit both players. Both of them were so close. Both of them were using the platforms from Battlefield and the large stage so perfectly. It really comes down to who's going to play best at those last few moments.
Momentum-wise, we've been seeing both these players go back and forth. I know Nairo's been calling out on Mars a little bit more, using the auto reticle whenever Mars tries to jump in on him. Not really doing him good as he DIs in right here. Mars keeping Nairo off stage, going in for the boost kick so early at 99%. No rage on Mars. Nairo is still going to be able to live from this. Doesn't jump, get up from with the Nair on the ledge. Oh, and air dodges right out of that situation from the boost kick.
He knew. We've been seeing that boost kick come out over and over again from Mars. That's been the way that Nairo has been losing his stocks consistently. So this time was able to bait it and actually get the follow-ups. Nairo is aware, Nairo is spacing out, and Nairo is being not only defensive, but aggressively pressured as well.
Oh, there's the auto reticle again, trying to call out Mars from jumping in, missing that Zair. Oh, very close situation right here. You see Mars retain center stage, trying to contest him with a back air.
It's always so scary when you see Mars in terms of edge guarding. He never misses it. He pressures you so well, makes this wall that makes you seem like a big character. But it's just a girl who literally is so thin with no range, but you just can't get in.
Yeah, and that was actually a really nice bait from Mars too, trying to force Nairo to actually feel like he's safe enough to go for that grab. You saw that immediate spot dodge into a boost kick too.
Yeah. All right, and now the momentum here on Mars's side, racking up as much damage as possible before this stock is taken. And we know how evasive Mars can be to actually avoid kill situations here from not only Nairo, but in general. So we could be seeing that, avoiding the back air, and again, using the flip kick to escape Nairo.
You see the empty hop not going for the backer. Mars actually air dodge through it to get back into the ledge, gets that grounding into the up smash on the platform, something that we saw similarly, using the platform cancel to sneak in that backer with Palutena.
Yeah, people keep forgetting that that is still a thing in this game. You can cancel. It's a lot harder, but it's a thing. And those big blast zones coming in on Battlefield is going to go ahead and benefit Nairo. Let's see if he can get this damage, some strings off of those Nairs to bring this back, avoids the side special, and man, did that save him.
This is a really tough situation for Nairo, just especially being on the ledge versus like Mars. Forced to go underneath the stage to go for the recovery at the same time, using the platform, but Mars catching on after getting hit by that backer that he knew exactly where Nairo was going to be.
Yep, he really knew that that was literally no choice where Nairo needed to be. So the fact that he was able just to be there and cover that option is going to make Nairo maybe hesitate and think, okay, where could I actually go? But that's an opportunity. Not going to get it the fair from Zero Suit. He's going to take it.
And he knew he was going to roll back too. He just went a little too far to go for that grab.
Yeah, went a little bit too quick for Zero Suit. All right, back into neutral. Both of them feeling themselves out. You want to be careful.
Yep, that's definitely going to be a stock. And with Mars holding on to 2 stocks right here, it's looking a little difficult for Nairo to try to come back. But of course, we're talking about the comeback factor that Nairo definitely has in terms of these situations.
Okay, it's not down just yet. We know the kill potential from Palutena going in so deep, making sure that he doesn't get caught by Zero Suit Samus and really trying to use the fact that her recovery isn't really the best and that you can't actually exploit it, but unfortunately put himself in a bad situation, made up some damage, but not too much.
I like how he waited right there. Instead of going for the backer, he opts to go for the Nair instead to cover a good amount of the platform. Like the patience, you see, he's trying to fish for the backer, but not trying to overextend on Mars' shield. He knows that the boost kick could be coming at any moment.
Mars is doing such an amazing job as well, just knowing what kill power Palutena has, is respecting it, and just kind of like poking the shield a little bit there, getting some damage there, racking it up without actually committing, so that he doesn't fall too behind and really makes that opportunity for Nairo to come back these plays.
Oh my gosh, he called out the jump so bad. Mars is playing out of his mind right now, and this is what I was talking about earlier on in the set. Usually when Mars has the lead, He never tries to go in. He definitely is very slippery when it comes to closing out his own stock.
Yeah, he's so good at making that lead a huge advantage for himself, and we're seeing that right now. Nairo just trying to find himself in, and finally does, but he survived!
Yeah, that was amazing DI from Mars, still finding his way back, and that backer sending him to the opposite side of the stage, looking really hard with the Nair, connecting all the way through, taking out Mars' stock, and now we have a last stock situation. Although Nairo was at 99% just a second ago, this is still very doable for him.
It is. We know the potential of combos when it comes to Palutena. That's a start, getting the advantage. And here comes another Nair. That's going to be a fair to the dash attack. 50% already racked up from Nairo.
Yeah, the crowd is going wild for Nairo, trying to give them their energy right here. Nairo's still in the game. Mars at 50%. As you were talking about, Kels, Palu has no problem racking up that damage easily.
Yeah, no, not at all. And it really comes down to that kill power of how are you actually going to approach your opponent. Palutena might hit hard, but she's slow. And getting in is quite the deal. It's gonna miss the down smash. It is close. It is so close.
All the empty humps. I love how he actually contested his shield with the up air. Nairo's still in the game, tries to get that explosive flame, ends up on the top of that platform though.
Nairo in a really bad situation. The downside special's gonna take it. And that is it. Mars, top 8 winner side. Doesn't let the reverse 3-0 happen. Even with Nairo pushing at his limits, surpassing them. Mars pushing it even more.
That was such a close game. Nairo almost bringing it back, still leaving it last stock, last hit situation, despite being nearly an entire stock